we will get on to our next speaker, who I'm so excited to hear. I'm excited for all of them. They're just amazing, these ladies. So Nathalie Biviano, a relationship coach, speaker, and the founder of The Marriage Whisperer. Nathalie specialises in helping high-performing women strengthen emotional connection at home without sacrificing their success at work. She is the creator of the Relationship Thrive Code and works with the intersection of leadership, emotional intelligence, and modern relationships. Today, Nathalie will be speaking about give at home, gain in business, and revealing how the emotional climate at home can quietly influence confidence, decision-making, and capacity in business. Please welcome Nathalie Biviano.
Sally, thank you, beautiful women. And let me just start by saying, I met Sal a couple of years ago at a networking event, and we've had some beautiful interactions in the time that we've known each other. And what I really notice about Sally is just how deeply passionate she is about bringing women together, about how she cheerleads, about how she supports and how she encourages women. And so I'm just deeply grateful for you, beautiful. Just so incredibly grateful for organising this event and lining up speakers and inviting myself to come and share our message. Just really, really grateful for how you are such a light for what International Women's Day is about. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And this is the first time I've ever seen a booth, what Braden set up, and I'm like, goodness me, you don't want to have a few drinks and get on one of those, right? That's kind of cool. Oh, okay. So ladies, hello and good afternoon. I want to start by sharing a story. A few years when I was building my coaching business, kitchen bench, laptop open, staring me was this program that I was desperate to enrol in. I knew this program was going to help me grow my business. I knew this program was going to stretch me in the best ways. And I sat there on that bench for hours. And it wasn't because I was unsure of the program. I was unsure on what that program might do to my marriage. Will my husband Rob support it? Will this create tension in our home? Does this mean that I'm taking from my family and not giving? And so, in that deliberation, I realised that I'm not afraid of growing my business. I was afraid of what that growth would do to the people I loved. And so, as I've been discovering, I've discovered that women aren't afraid of success. Women are afraid of the tension that success might bring. I got that goosebump thing going on too when I just said that. I have this thing, I kind of share it with my clients all the time, and it's like the barometer, right? When you kind of speak something and then you get the goosebumps. I call it the AEHs. It stands for Asian erect hairs. And so when the Asian erect hairs come, it's like, okay, we're on track. So this is what I've really come to know. Women aren't afraid of success. They're afraid of the tension. And one of the themes for International Women's Day is gain to give. And all the women here know about giving. Sorry, did I get that messed up? It was like give to gain, give to gain, give to gain, give to gain. Everyone here knows about giving. Giving of your time, giving of your energy, giving of your leadership at home and at work. And so what I have noticed with the clients that I've worked with over the years, that high-performing, ambitious women are excellent givers, but they struggle to gain. They struggle to receive. They struggle to gain support. they struggle to gain growth, they struggle to gain space. And so why do I feel so passionate about this? Because what happens is when women shrink, it creates what I've come to know as friction. And so the problem isn't ambition. The problem is friction. And the problem is relational friction. And more specifically, invisible relational friction. Now, I know that kind of sounds like pretty lofty terms, but what does that kind of equate to in day-to-day language? It kind of means the tension that creates the friction that turns into resentment. And this is so subtle, this is so invisible. And so here's how it shows up on a day-to-day basis, right? You kind of land your biggest client ever. You are like beaming. Or you have just gained the biggest promotion that you have at work, right? And it's so exciting. And you come home and you share your excitement at the dinner table. Spouse is there, kids are around. And you're met with not a celebration, but silence. Or even worse, when there's a comment that sounds to the flavour of, well, how much time is that going to take? Who knows what I'm talking about? Okay. That's the invisible friction. That's the friction that women hold. Why? Because they can, and because they have, and because they must. Because women just get it done. Women know how to do things. Women know how to problem solve. Women know how to earn. Women know how to lead. We're very capable, competent. We know all these things. But that invisible friction comes at a very big price tag. Because somewhere along the lines, we've created a connection that success comes at a relational price. So it's like I've got to have one or the other. Like there doesn't seem to be like an idiosyncrasy that allows both to coexist. Like we've somehow on a very unconscious level absorbed that. And so what is the cost of holding this invisible friction? I see it daily in the work that I do with my clients. It turns into these little small bits of moments of hesitation is how to best describe it. It's very subtle. It doesn't show up in like a big crisis way. It shows up like when you grit your teeth because you're just holding it. It shows up where you just close your eyes and do that exaggerated inhale. You're like, you know when you're just holding your breath? That's how it shows up, right? It's pretty quiet, it's pretty subtle. And it shows up when you say, you know what, I'll just keep it to myself. Because if I share and express how I really feel, I will be at risk of judgment, of criticism, of invalidation, of dismissal, and worst of all, rejection. I can't handle those things. It's way safer, easier, peaceful to just swallow it. And so this is a term that we learn in, I've done some matrescence training. For those of you who don't know that word, it's the rapid transformation a woman goes through when she becomes a mother. In that certification process, there's a term that we learn called self-silencing. Women have become experts at self-silencing. And why is this a problem? Why is the self-silencing? Why is that invisible friction? Why is the hesitation? Why does that matter? It matters because when you allow that to hold, when you allow that to reside, take place, what happens is there's just a slow contraction that happens. And in that contraction, there's no space for growth. There's no space to take up these opportunities. There's no space to make bold decisions. There's no space to step into your purpose, your mission, your message, your thing that you are here to do. I feel so grateful to just be along this amongst all these speakers. Shout out to you, Lou, for just reminding me of how important our message is, and that it doesn't have to be polished or perfect. I actually had cue cards and all this nervousness. Why? Because we are almost instructed and systemised and curated to deliver perfection. That we have to get it right. That if we slip up or get it wrong or screw up, like that would be the end of us, right? Thank you, Lou. And so, what do we do? I'm looking at Leonie, who I met in the break. Thank you, beautiful, for our conversation. Lou asked me this question. She said, Leonie, beg your pardon. Leonie asked me this question. She said, how did you get into the work that you're doing? And here's the short answer. The short answer is you always teach what you need to learn. And I struggled immensely in those early days with my husband. And we have this ongoing running joke in our household because I have a degree in communication, but I had zero communication skills that landed. So it was just a total lie. And so here's what we know, right? We're not taught these skills. We're not equipped with these skills. We are taught to learn the formula of trigonometry. Let me tell you about Sakatoa, sine, cos and tan. I've never used it in my life. And so relational safety, learning how to express our needs, learning how to set boundaries, step into and hold those boundaries, learning how to let go of unrealistic expectations. These are the 3 pillars that I teach my clients. Spouse, your children start to step up and you can see how capable, how competent and how willing they are to support you. I promise you with my hand on my heart, when you put these things in place, you will be so delighted with what happens when your friction reduces. And so I want to just end there. Thank you so much for your engagement and for your very warm, friendly smiles. I really appreciate the crowd that allows you to just be who you are. Thank you for attending today. And my message to you is that when you are confident in yourself, in your spine, and in your worth, the rest follows. Thank you so much.
Wow. All of these speakers today are just absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, Nathalie.